Hi, Dave McIntosh here again with another adventure for you as we continue our tour in Israel. In my last video, we toured around the Sea of Galilee. In this video, we are going to travel towards the Mediterranean and visit some sites along the way. Three of the places we're going to visit are Nazareth, Caesarea by the sea, and Tel Aviv. But first we are going to travel north to a beautiful park called Hermon Stream Nature Reserve. And on the way we're going to stop and have a look into Syria. I trust you will enjoy this video. So come on, let's go and see what we can discover on this trip. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. On our way north, we stopped for a few minutes to look across the border into Syria. From our vantage point, we could see a Syrian military post not too far away. Then we continued on to the place at Hermon Stream Nature Reserve, which was quite pretty, with some really nice gardens, along with this cooling stream running through it. But it was also the site of a temple to the god of Pan, which was not a holy site at all, as it was where they sacrificed women and children in their worship. We didn't stay here long, but I really enjoyed the gardens area and seeing the stream as it flows from Mount Hermon, not too far away, and it ends up flowing into the Sea of Galilee. In behind the gardens were the remains of the Temple of Pan. It was a little unnerving to me. Then we were off again. Our next stop will be Nazareth. It is a very nice city and is the center of the Palestinian population in Israel. It is also where Jesus grew up and helped his dad, who was a carpenter. Our first stop was having lunch at this restaurant. Delicious shawarmas and chips. Then we were off to visit Nazareth village, which is a recreation of a village in Jesus' time. It not only showed how they did things, like this wine press or a mill for grinding wheat, but it also gave a real feel of going back 2,000 years. We visited a carpenter shop, this lady and girl making clothes, a shepherd caring for his sheep, and so much more. We also visited a synagogue with a scroll just waiting to be read. And up a bit from where we were was a tomb with a stone to cover the entry. There were so many aspects of this village that I really enjoyed seeing. If you're ever in Nazareth, you really need to visit Nazareth village. Now we're off to the Basilica of the Annunciation in the center of the city of Nazareth. It's a beautiful cathedral and quite unique. It is quite modern in its architecture, both outside and inside. The facade was very unique. Inside, it was very open, and we walked around and then down a set of stairs to where you could look into a grotto area that was very old and part of an original church on this site. This church also had an amazing dome. When you looked up from the inside, it seemed to draw you in. There was quite a contrast on the outside, as right next to it was this rundown building. Now we are off towards the Mediterranean. On the way, we stopped at a monastery in the hills of Carmel, where it is said Elijah slaughtered the Baal prophets. Of course, there was a chapel and a very nice altar area. Right next to the chapel was a lookout area where you could look out over the valley and what some feel is the location of where Armageddon, the last battle, will happen. From this vantage point, you could see almost back to Nazareth, and then, looking in the opposite direction, you could see the slim blue line of the Mediterranean on the horizon. It was an amazing view of the area. We are off now to Caesarea. In Caesarea, we stopped at another place that Herod the Great built for himself. We visited the remains of his palace, which was right at the water's edge, and not far away was this theater that he had built where he could be entertained. That wasn't the only place he liked to be entertained though. Right at the beach was this long flat area where they had chariot races. Here he had places for lots of his friends to sit and be entertained as well. In behind the chariot track, there were these sort of caves where prisoners were kept and then brought out to fight to the death, just to entertain Herod and his friends. At the far end of this area was an ancient ruins of the city of the past, with a fortress kind of area. The walls of the fortress were very thick, and the architecture was unbelievable. Caesarea was a very important port area in those days for all kinds of commerce to travel through, and in fact it's still significant today. Now we're going to continue on south along the Mediterranean to the city of Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is a very modern city and very secular as well, with a beautiful beach the whole length of the city. The day we were there, we were on our own and did a lot of walking. We started off right downtown at the market area, which was not where we wanted to be or stay. We really wanted to see the port city of Jaffa, which is talked about in the Bible and is right next to Tel Aviv. So we grabbed a taxi and headed there. Jaffa is an amazing old city, and we walked around and enjoyed it a lot. Not too far away, we could see the modern city of Tel Aviv, and the contrast was truly something. Jaffa had narrow streets and winding paths. There was a marina for small boats to use today, and it had a break wall to protect it from the storms. This ancient lighthouse, I'm sure, was no longer in service. After spending a number of hours here, we decided to walk back to Tel Aviv, as it really wasn't that far, and so we walked right along the edge of the beach. We enjoyed the walk, but it was quite hot. The sandy beach was amazing, with lots of people enjoying the water, even though it was only the end of May. By the time we got back to where we started, the day was almost gone, so we stopped and had our dinner at this restaurant. I trust you enjoyed this video as we continued our tour of Israel. In my next video, we are going to go to Jerusalem and tour around that beautiful city. We're going to visit some holy places, some beautiful churches, and just walk around the city. I know you're going to enjoy it. And so do remember to come back in a couple weeks for my next tour of Israel, visiting the city of Jerusalem. If this is your first video, make sure you look back and have a view on some of my previous videos as we toured around Israel. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel.